This
access.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, just hold on.
There you go. Yeah, I'm confused. I think I deleted this thing, or I don't know what happened. They say here, I'm in a root directory.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Yeah, once I came here, I wanted to like go to the IIB package we installed and the MQ package we installed. I couldn't find it. It's supposed to be under var, I think.
Bar TMP.
Yeah, 10. It's supposed to be under this, yeah?
Okay. So
When I check it, I don't see it here.
So then where did you place them? So I don't know where you exactly placed it. Okay. Can you go to cd/tmp directory? That is also one of the temporary directory. Did you place there?
You mean I have to go back?
No, not go back. I will tell you one command: cd space
cd space
slash
slash
tmp.
PMP.
Not p, it's t. T for Texas.
Oh, T.
Yeah. M T, not P. Again T. T for again Texas.
Oh, TMT.
Oh,
Do we?
sorry.
I don't think we have this.
Sorry. It's TMP. TMP, not TMT. I'm confused. cd/tmp.
Yeah, it's this one.
Yeah, this one. Do list here.
I checked
So
it here.
where did you place the binaries then? Okay, give me the control. I'll try to find it out. Should I request it? Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Fine. Name IIB. Do you get something?
Oh, you can make it MQ service. That way you can.
Hmm. Kelly, just give me one moment. I will be back. Just one moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. So you want to find out where you have placed the dumps of MQ and IIB, right?
Yeah, I was. It almost took me like.
Um, okay, hold on. PD, PNP, it must be integration bus runtime. Okay, let me see. The integration. No? Strange. No, I didn't find it in the server itself. Um, oh, no, even MQ series also.
That is what surprised me. I couldn't. Like, it took me almost like an hour.
Fine, it is not reflected. So maybe the thing is, after installation of MQ and IIB, you might have accidentally deleted those folders.
No, I didn't delete anything. If I
No,
deleted it, it is not
no,
going to
might
work.
might be an accident, like by deleting something, you accidentally deleted this thing, and still you think that you have not deleted. I mean, sometimes it may happen because it happened with me so many times. So might be that would be the case. What I would say.
Okay. So if it been removed from the directory here, how come the server is running?
Come again.
If the file is removed from the directory here,
Uh-huh.
how come MEQ and IIB is running?
No, that is fine. So once the installation is done, you can delete those files. There is nothing to do. Once the installation is done, there is nothing to do with those binary files
Oh, okay.
because installation will be registered in the operating system level, kernel level. So once a kernel level has been updated, so there is no necessity of keeping those files. It's not required.
Okay. Okay.
So what I suspect is might be some accidental delete. That's it. You may not aware that you have deleted them. That's it. That's the thing what I can say because I searched into the entire root file system, but I couldn't find anything with the MQ3s or I couldn't find anything. So might be some accidental. So let me do a final trial. Find slash minus name q. No, it's not there. That's for sure.
So this command searches MEQ through all the directories here.
Yes, in the root file system, whatever it is, it is going to set each and everything. If I do start, something will work. No, no, it's not there, Kelly. It must have been deleted.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Fine. So shall I share my screen then? We'll start the next
Yeah.
section of
Yeah. Go
IIB.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was the last thing we have discussed?
It was about the IIB toolkit.
Yeah, toolkit. So we developed a sample message flow. We have deployed it, and we have seen the situation which is happening, right?
Yes.
So
But
in
still,
today's
I didn't get the session.
no, you're going to get it. You will definitely get it. So might be Vasu must have been missed it. I will remind him today. You will get it.
Okay.
Uh, okay. Okay, so we got the last session of IIB DSM. All right, so you'll get it. I will remind him to do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So today we are going to discuss some real-time scenarios of IIB, which we face I mean, which we see frequently in our IIB professional work. Okay.
Okay.
So the first we're going to see is a swap memory issue. So do you know what is a swap memory?
So memory.
Yeah.
I think when it runs out of the memory.
Exactly. So swap memory is something like it's a part of RAM memory. If RAM memory gets filled, then swap memory taken into picture. So whenever swap memory is utilizing, it means definitely something is wrong with the server. Some memory leakage is happening. So before explaining about the swap memory, let me explain you about RAM memory. Do you know what is a RAM memory in a computer system?
Yeah, random access memory.
Yeah. So what is the use of that random access memory?
It is where temporarily the message stays, like
Ex-
from when they
yeah.
transfer from the actual memory to the CPU in the between, it stays there until it gets processed.
Exactly. So RAM memory is something like a temporary memory. So for some temporary operations, operating system needs some temporary memory, and that memory will be taken from the RAM of the hardware of the particular system. For example, in these days, in mobiles also we are getting around 3 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM we are getting. So why companies, I mean mobile companies are especially mentioning RAM is 3 GB, RAM is 4 GB, and people are going for more RAM. The thing is, the more RAM memory, the more performance you get, the more optimization you get. So that's what the memory of the RAM. So your operating system behaves in a faster way, just like that. So I will tell you one example for that. For example, uh, do you know a cricket game?
Cricket game.
Yeah, cricket, sports cricket. You
Yeah,
know about?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it, but I have not that
Yeah,
much knowledge about it.
yeah, that is fine. So the thing is, for example, in your mobile, for example, you are having 3 GB of RAM of your mobile and you are playing a cricket game. So when we are playing a cricket game, so the thing is how the success factors depend on the cricket game. For example, the general formula of playing a cricket game is there will be two teams. Say suppose team A and team B, and for example, team A has scored some runs in 10 overs. I mean, it's a 10-over match. So in 10 overs, team A scored some score. For example, they have scored 100 runs, and the team B success factor is going to depend on these 100 runs only, right?
Yeah,
For example, Team B has scored more than 100 runs within 10 overs, then they are the winners. If they didn't beat that 100 runs, then automatically Team A is going to win. That's how the winning factor in cricket game. So the thing is, till this game ends, it means till for some temporary time, this 100 runs has to store in RAM memory, in the system memory, so that it will calculate all the game statistics. So once the game is finished, there is no need that to store that 100 runs because it's not required. The game is finished. So now there is no meaning of storing that 100 runs in the computer's memory. So that thing is needed. That 100 runs memory is needed till the game completes. It's for some temporary time only. So that is what the temporary memory. That is what the RAM memory is. Okay. Now the thing is, if the applications are really utilizing a high temporary memory, then swap memory, I mean, if RAM got 100% full, then swap memory getting utilized. When our system says, hey, I'm using swap memory, it means your RAM memory must have been finished, it must be full. For example, I'm into my system where some message flows are running. I want to see the memory statistics of this Linux operating system. So there is a command for that, which is stop. When we execute stop, it says that there is a memory, which is a hard drive memory, and there is a swap memory. So do you see what is the swap memory now? The utilization. So out of this is 20 MB. No, this is 20 GB. Out of 20 GB RAM, 20 GB swap memory, 20 GB is free, 0% is utilized, which is 100% healthiest. So the thing blind rule is the swap memory should not cross beyond 30%. So it should be always below 30%. That is fine. If the swap memory going more than 30%, then there might be memory leakage happening inside the operating system, inside this server. So the thing is, whenever we see some swap memory is utilized, definitely we are going to see something, some message flows are going to use that particular swap memory. So right now there is nothing. Okay. Let me start a message flow. If anything is running. Come on, why is it taking time? What's wrong with it? Why it's taking time? Message start here one. Yes, we have one. Let's see. Okay. Now some execution group is running. So if I execute tab command now, okay. So do you see that some data flow engine is using some memory 3.9?
Yeah.
So 3.9, which is okay, 3.9% of memory. So sometimes, what happens is when this swap memory is getting utilized more than 30%, if it reaches 80 to 90%, it's really too dangerous. And the thing is, in the IIB broker server, the data flow engine uses more and more swap memory. Whenever message flows are utilizing in a more efficient way, then the swap memory may be impacted. So if we see something like data flow engine is using like 40% of memory or 70% of memory, then it's a problematic. So the thing is, we have to restart this data flow engine. Here, data flow engine means it's an execution group only. So if you see 4237 here, this is the process ID of this particular data flow engine. So if I grep 4237, this 4237, I am going to get something. For example, PS minus EF 5 grep 4237. So data flow engine EG1. So EG1 is utilizing more swap memory. So whenever execution group is utilizing more swap memory, the only solution we have is we need to restart this execution group. So we have to start the execution group. We have to start the execution group. So we already know how to start an execution group. It is like MQSA start MSG flow BR1 minus EG1.
Yeah.
So that execution group will be start, and when we need to start it, we need to use MQSA start MSG flow BR1 minus EG1, so that EG will be again started. So in this way, we are going to restart an execution group. But in this session, I am going to tell you a small trick for restarting an execution group. Instead of stopping the message flow and starting the message flow command, we can use MQSI reload command this command is going to restart your execution group. It means the same command is going to stop and the same command is going to start. For example, br1 minus eg1. So now let me open another session. So whenever we restart an execution group, that will be recorded, that entry will be recorded in the syslog of the operating system, right?
Yeah.
So I'm opening the syslog using tail minus 200f var log messages. Now we are in the syslog, in the log file of broker. Now I'm reloading it. It means I'm restarting my execution group. You can see the changes here. So in the left hand side, I'm restarting it. In the right hand side, you can see that entries in the log file. Enter. See, now something got recorded about to stop an execution group. Now let's wait for some time. Let's wait for some time.
I'm curious. I load is to stop the execution group.
To stop and then start.
I mean, we have to hit it twice, or
no,
it
only
does
once. Only once.
Okay.
So see, here I executed only just a reload. That's it. When I execute the reload, first of all, it says execution group now stop, and after some time, it says that execution group has been successfully shut down. And after some time, if you see, immediately it says the execution group for a broker one, it automatically came up. This is it. It says that configuration message received from broker. It means that the execution group has been successfully started. See, about to start an execution group. Execution group finished with the configuration message. It means that the execution group has been successfully started. So MKSA reload is just a combination of both MKSA stop message flow and MKSA start message flow. That's what MKSA reload. Clear?
Yeah. Is there any exception when we have to use this MQSI reload?
If you want to restart your execution group, you can use MKSA reload.
Does it restart the broker if we do like MQSI reload broker one only?
No, I believe it won't do. Let's see. Good question. Excellent question. MQSI reload BR1. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. It is restarting the broker. No. It is not going to restart the broker, but it is going to restart all the execution groups inside the broker.
Oh, okay. If we have like 2, 3 execution groups,
Yes.
it's gonna restart all of them.
Exactly. So if you want to restart all the execution group at the same time without touching a broker, use MKSA reload. That's it. If you want to restart any particular execution group, then MKSA reload with the help of -C flag, use that particular execution group name so that only that particular execution group is going to be restarted. That's it.
What if this execution group is for production? How are we gonna manage it?
What do you mean by production? So if it is a production or if it is a non-production, the command is going to be same, right?
No, I'm not talking about the product. I'm not talking about the command. The restarting thing, because when we restart the execution group, we're gonna take down all the applications running on this execution group. In production environment, I don't think that is something tolerable. So how this gonna be reconciled?
So in the production, if you want to reload any execution group, first of all, you have to be in touch with the application folks. Hey, we have an issue, so we need to drop an email to application people. We are going to restart this execution group. So please stop all your applications. You may expect some downtime. So we have to inform them so that all they are available, and then we need to reload the execution group. That's how we need to manage.
Okay.
So that is what the swap memory is.
So when
Now,
we restart it, it comes down.
When we restart it, it comes down and immediately it comes up. So that the swap memory, which is utilized by that particular execution group, will be under the control now.
Okay.
Right. Now, the HTTP listener issue for a broker after the upgrade. Yeah, I think we already seen this. So for example, when we see any broker, when we grab PS minus CF grab BIP, there will be three processes which should be running for a broker. So out of this process, this BIP HTTP listener will be up and running. So this is a listener call for a particular broker to call any web services which is deployed on this BR1. Now, the thing is we have already seen one command, right? So in case I report properties BR1 minus B HTTP listener minus O all reportable entity names minus A. We have already seen this command, right? Hello.
Yeah. Yes, we saw it here.
So out of all reportable entity names, let's take this HTTP listener entity. When we execute this listener, this entity is going to show its valid attributes and their values. So here there is property called start listener, which is having a value called true. So the thing is, whenever the start listener assigned to true, then only the listener property comes up when we restart the broker. If it is set to false, it won't come up, right?
Yeah.
So generally what happens is when we upgrade a broker from lower level of version to higher level of version, then sometimes automatically the start listener may go to false. So at that time, we have to manually set this start listener property to true, and then we have to restart the broker one more time so that the broker will start automatically. I mean, this HTTP listener property will automatically comes up. So that is what I want to explain here. So the thing is, this is going to happen. Sometimes it is going to happen when we are doing the upgrade, especially when we are upgrading from message broker 8 to IIB 9. Because two times when I was upgrading in my real-time project, I have seen this. That's why I specifically mentioned about it.
Okay.
So I think I believe we have already changed it. We have already seen this, right? You want me to show one more time? I believe not required.
Yeah, I think MQSI change properties.
Yes, exactly. So MKSI change properties BR1 minus B HTTP listener minus O HTTP listener minus N start listener space minus V is equal to false, and then restart. This process won't restart. This process won't come up. Again, with the help of MKSI change properties, if you change this value and then you restart the broker, this will comes up. Fine.
Yeah.
Now let's come to the third one, the core dumps and then the heap dumps. Okay, so let me open one thing. You remember about the core dumps and heap dumps? I have explained about in the demo session
Yeah.
in our first session. So let's have a discussion about it. Yeah, core dump. So a core dump means if any process is terminated abnormally or killed brutally, then the associated core dump is generated and entry will be recorded in the syslogs. So the thing is, in IIB broker, if any broker process has been killed abnormally or brutally by the operating system, then in the syslog, a core dump will be entry will be recorded and core dump will be generated in var MQSI file system. So what is var MQSI file system?
It is a working directory.
Exactly. It is a working part of the brokers. So in var MQSI, we will be having all the broker entries, and in var MQSI part, core dump will be generated with a name like something called core dot that particular date when it is generated. For example, today is 26th March 2020 here, and if the core dump is generated now, it is going to generate like 2020 03 26, and then the core dump file will be having some ID, say 1234567 dot core. So it will be like, okay, so the core file name will be like this. So any name here, any random name here, the date, and then core dump ID, and then dot core. Whenever in var MKSI, if you see a file something like this, you have to understand, okay, this is a core dump which is generated, and generating a core dump is very dangerous situation for a var MKSI file system, because whenever a core dump is generated, so the core dump is file is having around 3 GB to 4 GB of size. So whenever a process killed brutally, around 10 to 15 core dumps will be generated. So imagine, for example, if a core dump is having 1 GB, minimum 1 GB, I mean, I'm just telling with the minimum failure scenario. A core dump is generated with 1 GB, and for example, whenever process killed, consider 10 times process got killed, and then 10 core dumps. So 10 files of 1 GB, which equal to 10 GB, right? If the file system is having 20 GB, and 10 GB is already utilizing by the brokers, and 10 GB is occupied with the core dumps. Now this var MKSI file system gets 100% utilization, right? So whenever var MKSI file system gets 100% utilization, it means that there is no enough space for the brokers to run. So the broker may face resource issue, and the broker goes down due to core dump files issue. So whenever core dumps are generated, it's very dangerous situation. We have to remove it on this path without any second thought, because core dumps are very dangerous in brokers. Fine.
So we manually remove it.
Yes, we have to remove it manually. So there's a file side. So it's just like rm -f, and then give that particular core dump file. That's it. That core dump will be generated. Sorry, core dump will be deleted. So clear the core dumps.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, whenever core dump is generated at the back end, what happens is in the syslog of the operating system, append file entry will be there for the core dump. So for example, in the syslog, something called append is generated for var MQSI file, say 2020 0326.core file. So whenever you see any entry in the syslog, it means, okay, append file is generated for this core dump. It means some core dump is generated in var MQSI. So this entry will be recorded here. So right now, I really can't show in our training mission because we don't have any running flows which have been abnormally terminated. So I really can't generate a core dump. We can see this core dump in the real time only.
So we get them always in var MQSI, and then syslog. I think we don't have syslog directory here under var MQSI.
No, syslog will be in var log messages. It's an operating system log file. So it won't be in var MQSI. So here I am that in the whenever core dump is generated in the syslog, an entry will be recorded like this. Whenever in the syslog, in var log messages syslog file, whenever we see this entry, we have to understood that, okay, some core dump is generated in var MQSI file system. That is what my intention.
Okay.
Fine. So now clear with the core dumps?
Yeah. Where is syslog? Under what directory is the syslog? Is that in the common file?
No. Syslog will be var log. When we go to var log directory, in the var log directory, there will be one file called messages. So this messages file is the syslog file, where our system logs will be recorded. Okay.
Okay.
So we have to open this file, and when you open this file, we can see an entry something like this. Where is it?
The one you already
You can
showed
see
me.
some entry like this.
Yeah. What about the normal operation error message? Those ones also they are in this message. Yeah.
I didn't get your point, Kelly.
The error logs.
Are you saying about the syslog?
No, the error logs. The error logs
There
are also in IIB. Like we get the error logs also in this message. Yeah.
There is no separate concept of error logs in IIB. We have only syslogs concept in IIB. Any error happen, any broker related or any execution group level, that will be appended in the syslog only. There is no separate error log in IIB. Fine.
Yeah.
All right. Now the one more thing we have to take care is heap dump. Heap dump is also one of the big issue in broker. So let's see now what is a heap dump. So heap dump is a memory issue. So if any process is running out of memory, then associated heap dump will be generated. So we can analyze the heap dump using heap analyzer software. So the thing is, in VARMKSA path, sometimes in addition to core dumps, we can also see some heap dumps. So heap dumps file will be, so core dump file extension is .core, right? So heap dump extension is going to be .heap. Whenever we notice some heap files, it means it is generated due to some memory issue. So the thing is, heap dumps can be analyzed with the heap analyzer. So we have a lot of open source heap analyzer tools. We can download it from Google. So when we upload that heap dump file into the heap analyzer tool, then we are going to get the analysis due to which, where exactly, what is the memory issue, where it is happening. So that is going to be shown by the heap analyzer. So heap analyzer, you can download it from the Google, and we have to place that heap dump in that heap analyzer tool so that it will be analyzed. Okay, so I will show you one scenario, one very good scenario. So the thing is, let me show you one thing here. IIB, yeah. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on, yeah. I'm looking for this PPT. Okay, so do you see this PPT?
Yeah.
Okay, so this follow me now. This diagram is going to give you a full-fledged idea about a heap dump, when it is going to be generated, and how that is going to be fixed permanently. So to understand about the heap dump, first of all, let me explain you about the how the message flow happens in the broker. So for example, here I have a broker server, which is a sending broker, and the system. Do you see my mouse movements? Can you notice that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So here it is like the broker server where the message is going to reach. So the thing is, there is a message broker, and there is something called parsers in the message broker. This is inbuilt. We have to do nothing technically about it. It comes internally. So there are parsers in the broker. So the duty of parser is whenever message comes to an execution group. So this is the message flow. Like in the last session, with the help of integration toolkit, we have developed a message flow, right?
Yeah.
So this is the message flow. Whenever message enters into the message flow, there will be parser. What this parser will do is this parser converts bit stream to logical structure. The data will be converted. Bit stream data will be converted to logical structure. Now this logical structure data will be processed in the message flow based on the code which is developed in the message flow. And when it is in the logical structure, then only it is possible for a message flow so that the data will be processed according to the code. Now this is going to be processed. Now whenever this parser needs to convert a bit stream data to logical structure, it requires some memory. Some internal memory will be utilized for this because it has to convert. And now this logical structure data has reached here. Now it has to go to the message broker system again so that it will be processed by the receiving application. So before placing this data into the broker, again the parser converts the logical structure data into bitstream data. So again here parser uses another memory. So this bitstream data is going to be placed into the system so that it will be processed by the application. So here what you notice, so this parser is going to parse the data. It means parsing data means a parser converting data into bitstream to logical structure. That is called parsing. And at the end of the message flow, again that logical structure data is going to be converted into bitstream. That is called serializing. So this is happening completely backend, even which we not, which we are not aware, and we no need to aware of it. We no need to take care of anything. It will be taken care by completely broker internally. It's pure internal to broker. So whenever this parsing and serializing is going to happen, then at the back end it is going to use a lot of memory. If the data is really huge, then the heap dump will be generated in the variant process as this stuff. So this is the only situation where the heap dump is going to be generated in the broker. And in the real time only we can be able to see this, because here we don't have any such kind of huge data which is flowing, and we really can't see whenever heap dump is generated. But during parsing and serialization concept, yes, this heap dump is going to be generated. Clear? Any questions?
Yeah. So where you say it is a heap dump gonna generated?
So heap dump is going to be generated whenever parser converts bitstream data to logical structure data. Then the parser is going to use some memory.
Yeah.
So the memory which is utilized by the parser, that is going to be completely depend on the message. If the message logic is really huge, then the parser has to utilize more memory to convert the data to logical structure.
Yes. But
Then
still it's gonna transfer it, yeah?
Sorry?
Then it's gonna transfer this message which converted to from bit stream to the logical structure.
Yes, that's right.
So that means the space it was occupied is going to be released.
That's right.
And then the same parser are gonna convert it to convert this logical structure to bit stream, I think, which is basically smaller than the logical structure.
No. It is not a smaller. So it is not. We are not going to decide whether it is a small data, whether it is a huge data. It's not in our hand. It's on the data. Whatever the data which is being published by the application people, it is going to depend on them. If they are processing huge data, then the huge memory is going to be utilized by the broker at the back end for the parser.
Yeah, actually what I'm saying is when the data is in logical structure, I think it occupies more space than when the data is in a bit stream.
It's not exactly like that. It's about based on the situation. I mean, there is no sure shot answer what you exactly said, but the thing is, whenever a parser is converting the data, whatever the format, whether it is from bit stream to logical structure or whether it is from logical structure to bit stream, the parser needs to convert the data. When the parser converts the data, if the data size is really huge, then the heap dump is going to be generated. That's it, as simple as that.
Okay.
So this is where heap dump is going to be generated. So whenever heap dump is generated, when we place that heap dump into the heap analyzer, then we are going to understand, okay, when this data is this much big and when it is converting the data, we got this heap dump. So we understand the situation now with the help of heap analyzer. So heap analyzers are open source. You can download it from Google itself.
So what is the remedy? What is the remedy for that? Like,
Okay. Yeah, I got a question. So the thing is, we have some parsers in the broker where developers uses. So for example, where is my Notepad++? Come on. No, not Notepad. Okay. So there are some parsers like XML parsers, DFDL parsers, and BLOB parsers. So these are the parsers which will be developed by the developers. For example, if the applications are going to use the XML messages, then you have to use XML parser. That is the standard format. If
the
the
parser,
message
the parser is already there. Just we simply associate them with what kind of data we have. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. So the thing is, whenever the developers are developing the message flow, if they code like XML parser need to be utilized for converting the data from bitstream to logical structure, then XML parser is going to be utilized. But if the developers says, I mean, they write the code that DFDL parser need to be invoked, then DFDL parser will be invoked. It depends on how the developers develop their code. So for example, if the developers coded that DFDL parser need to be utilized, and if the application throws, I mean, if the application gives an XML message, now DFDL parser has to process the XML message, which doesn't make any sense. Because whenever DFDL parser wants to process an XML message, their heap a lot of memory will be utilized. So the basic remedy is we have to use appropriate parsers for appropriate messages. That's the only remedy. Fine, it completely depends on the developers, not by the admins.
So you said the heap dump is gonna created by using an appropriate parser.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's the reason. I mean, is the reason like if the document coming in is DFDL and the parser put in there is XML parser, it cannot parse DFDL, so it keeps reproducing the same thing again and again and fills the memory.
That's right. So the thing is, whenever appropriate parser is going to convert appropriate XML message, it doesn't take much memory because both are in sync. But whenever DFDL parser is going to process the XML data, they are not in sync because DFDL parser is something, XML data is something. So at that time, it will definitely going to convert, but at the back end, it is going to take more and more memory, which causes to generate any heap dump. Clear?
Yeah.
All right. Now the third thing is Java compatibility issues. Yeah, so the thing is, when we are doing any IIB installation, we have already seen some prerequisites, right? So the operating system and then the MQ installation, these dependencies has to be there. The thing is, whenever we are installing IIB message broker and the operating system is not up to the mark. For example, when we need to install IIB 9, we need to have Linux 7 operating system. For example, if we are installing IIB 9 in Linux 6 operating system, then definitely it shows Java compatibility issues. It says that Java compatibility operating system does not support. That kind of error we may get when we do not use the appropriate operating system. The Java compatibility issue. So dart profile. So dart profile we have already seen, right? The library issues.
Yeah.
So in dart profile, we are going to export the library of our MQSI profile path. So that is what, when we do not use this dart profile, we have to run the profile command many times. I mean, as soon as we log in, we have to run that first every time, which is again a repeated task. So for that, you can use this dart profile. I mean, when we in the dart profile, when we put the command, export command permanently, that will be forever.
Yeah. Question on that. Like, once we set this dot profile command, if we have to add more packets of installation on our IIB or MEQ, does this same thing still gonna work, or we have to?
That is going to work. That is going to work. Because if you upgrade MQ or if you upgrade a broker, you have to call it from MQSI profile path only. In OPT, IBM MQSI 9.0, bin MQSI profile only, we have to call, right?
Yeah, I'm not talking about like upgrading, but like when we last time unpacked the MEQ series, some we installed like 5 or 6 packages. Yeah.
That's right.
What if we, after like we installed that one and used it for some time, if some need arises for another package which we didn't install that time and wanted to install right now, does this system still, I mean, that profile we already said still recognize the package we not installed right now, or we have to update that profile again?
I believe updating the dart profile again is not required. Updating dart profile one time, you can do later. Once you update the dart profile, if you have any dependencies from MQ side, you can install those packages later time. It doesn't matter because MQ has nothing to do with profile. MQ is MQ, broker is broker. This dart profile, especially to identify, to set the profile for IIB executable commands. That's it, nothing else. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So now the next thing is failing to deploy. Okay. So it's very simple. So the thing is, when we need to deploy any message flow, any bar file, the command is going to be mqsi deploy br1 minus e eg1 minus a, the bar file name. So where tmp bar1 dot bar. This is the command, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, sometimes we have to use minus w wait interval time. It means 300 seconds. The thing is, when we do not mention anything at the back end, the deployment time will taken is 30 seconds by default. If the bar file is too small, yes, 30 seconds is enough. But sometimes, we will get some huge bar files, say 300 MB bar file, 400 MB bar file, sometimes even 1 GB bar file also. It depends on the code which is designed by the developer. So whenever 1 GB bar file is there, to deploy this 1 GB bar file, 30 seconds is too low. So at the time, we have to explicitly give the wait time interval using -w flag, and I'm giving 300 seconds. 300 seconds means 5 minutes. Now, 5 minutes time will be allocated to deploy this 1 GB bar file. In 5 minutes, 1 GB bar file can be deployed. So within 30 seconds, if we use like this, it will be allotted 30 seconds of time. In 30 seconds, if the bar file deployment is not completed, then it is going to throw an error that failing to deploy configuration timeout. This kind of error it is going to throw. It means that everything is fine, but the time wait interval is not enough for that bar file to be deployed on the execution group. That's the meaning. So that avoided by giving -w and the waiting time. You can give 300 or you can give 600, whatever you want to give. Fine.
Yeah, is that the only option? The system failed to.
Yeah, that's the only option. And finally, yeah, in case reload. Sometimes the message flow will be hanged up. It means flow will be connected to the queue, but it is not going to do appropriate action. Then I already told you it might be swap memory issue. We need to reload the particular execution group. That's it. So these are the common real-time issues which we see in our real life with the broker. Fine, getting some in-depth clarity now.
Yeah.
Okay. So before winding up today's session, let's see the course content. So we have finished most of the stuff. So what is the stuff which is pending? Deployment, CSN, oh, the security model 8 is still pending, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Security,
so,
and there is also something.
Yeah. Right. So tomorrow we are going to discuss with the security concept in the message broker, and then with the tomorrow session we are going to finish our entire IIB training. Okay.
Okay. But before that, there are some important very important command is you can go to your bin directories and we can see.
Okay.
Yeah, because as someone who is going to work as IIB admin, I'm supposed to know at least.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going through this thing like MEQSI, run MEQ services, start data flow. This one we did it. MEQSI web user admin. This one is very important. MEQSI with web user admin is very important thing because that is the one we used to give access to people.
Okay. 1 second.
I read about it. I think I'm fine.
User transfer web user underscore interfaces.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. I mentioned it as example. Let me go through the other ones and tell you one by one. If
Okay. So you want to know about this MQSI web user admin command?
No, just that is, we didn't see it, but I went through and I got what it is for. So I'm fine with that. There is another one we say is MEQSI ad broker instances. Ad broker instances.
It must be for multi-instance broker.
Yeah, maybe multi-instance stuff.
Yes.
I have seen this thing like when they deploy it to the UCD rejected them, mentioning that the instances are more than just the UCD allows them to pass through. So, and there is also another one, MEQSI apply bar override, MEQSI attach policy, MEQSI backup broker. I think this one is very important. For example, the one we say is backup broker.
So yeah, exactly. So the thing is, you asked about, so these are some advanced level of IIB. So this is for taking the backup broker and MQSI broker instance, MQSI apply bar override file. This is to override a bar. So you want to know about all these commands too?
Yeah, at least it is better to have highlight, because when you work with people,
sure, then we can continue. I can explain all these commands also. It doesn't.
MEQSI browse, MEQSI cache admin. You said last time you are not that much aware of this cache admin.
That's right.
MEQSI message flow monitoring. There is one we have to set to monitor the message. I see right here. MEQSI change flow stats. MEQSI change flow user exists. MEQSI change policy. MEQSI change resources.
You have MQSI policies in our project?
What is that?
I mean, I'm asking, do you have policies, MQSI policies in your project?
Yeah, of course. So we will have it.
All right. Okay.
MEQSI find, MEQ path, MEQSI format log, MEQSI manage XA linkage, MEQSI migrate component test. I think migration, this is what they always do work on.
This for migration.
Yeah. MEQSI, MEQSI read bar. I think I have seen you doing it last time.
Right, read bar we have seen.
MEQSI read log.
This is for traces and all.
MEQSI reload.
Yeah, today we have seen about MQSI reload.
MEQSI reload security. MEQSI removable.
So you need. So you want to know each and every command?
At least like let us have it a kind of highlight, then.
Fine, I can.
MEQSI delete configurable services. What these configurable services are? I see them most of the time.
Sometimes there are some configurable, external configurable services we need to configure. Okay, let's do one thing. I can give you a high level overview on all the commands. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
No problem.
And MEQSI explain, MEQSI detach policy. Earlier there is like the one we say is attach policy. Now there is the one we say is detach policy.
That's right. Here. Fine. So I can explain you a overview on each and every command. Fine.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I mean, like there is you can tell me the one you know and the one you don't know. That is something else.
Yeah, sure. I will definitely let you know. If I don't know, I will directly say that I don't know. Because regarding MQSI cache admin, I told you, right? I am not that much familiar with it because I have never used it in my career.
Yeah.
But anyway, I will do some research on this. I can get back to you on this. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and the other thing, I think you said tomorrow you're gonna see the certificate thing, SSL.
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow we're going to see with the SSL. Hello.
The other thing, I think you forget to paste this, copy paste this command into that Notepad++.
Which command? Which command?
No, I think for the last, I think 3 classes we forget it.
Okay. So I will ask Masu to share each and everything. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, Kelly. We'll meet you tomorrow then.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Yeah.
So you're working from home, yeah?
Yeah, working from home only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, enjoy your
Sure.
day. Yeah.
Okay. Have a good day then. Have a good sleep.